It is Wednesday, January 4th of 2017, and this is the Historic and Architectural Review Board meeting, and now adjourned. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Our second order of business is the reorganization for the 2017 year. We need to elect a chairperson and a vice chairperson. Do I have any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Janelle for chair.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Thank you.
I'd like to nominate Miles for vice chair.
I'd like to second that. All those in favor? All in favor? So our chairperson for 2017 is going to be myself, Janelle Snyder. Our vice chairperson for 2017 is going to be Miles. All right, the first order is HARB 2017-01, which is 206 Upland Way. Single-story dining room addition on the south rear side of the house. Exterior facade renovations to include replacement of vinyl siding, vinyl shutters, vinyl windows with composite siding and shutters, and wood windows. Paint red brick and accents. Would you like to, are you here? Would you like to approach and give us a little bit of background about the project?
Thank you. My name is Jeff Dolan. I'm with, sure. Oh, this is easier, yeah. My name is Jeff Dolan. I'm with Period Architecture, and we were hired by the current residents at 206 Upland Way to help them with a substantial renovation to this property. The renovation consisted of a thorough reorganization of the interior of the house so that it could accommodate their family of 7, as well as addressing some of their concerns about the exterior facade and overall aesthetic of the exterior of the house. It's a wonderful location. There's some really charming houses that are on the streets that surround it. But this house in particular, let's just say, needed some love on the outside. So I have a rendering that I'd like to share if possible.
Go ahead and put it on the table. There's a camera that's right above.
Sure.
Please don't display anything, any plans of the interior.
Sure. You have the existing photos of the exterior of the house, and I wanted to show you tonight and share with you an exterior rendering that we've recently completed of the front of the house and what we're imagining it will look like when it's completed. And so if you look at the existing, I believe that's the, what elevation is that? Existing north photo. What we're trying to do is get rid of some of the outdated elements that you currently see in that photo of the north elevation, archtop windows, panels, and sort of not purposeful architectural elements. And we're trying to add materials and architectural elements such as the pent over the front entryway and some brackets and corbels to really try to enhance the front of the house from the road. This is actually a colored rendering. We're thinking of painting the brick a gray color and having the composite siding be another tone of gray to sort of complement that. And that's essentially what we're looking to do.
I guess I have a question for
Sure.
you. I didn't drive by the property, so I don't know exactly, but the north elevation is what you see from the road?
Correct.
Do you see the sides much?
Not so much,
Okay.
no. The property lines are fairly tight with the neighbors. It doesn't appear so in this rendering, but we unfortunately weren't able to model the houses as close as they are.
fine.
But there's not much view of the sides of the house from the roadway.
Okay. And usually people will come with kind of an idea of the neighboring houses and talk about whether or not they've, sort of taken elements from them that would be consistent
I
with the
can speak
neighborhood.
to that. We certainly have. Both houses on either side of this, I guess to the east and west, have brackets, corbels, shake siding, horizontal siding, standing seam, metal roofs. So we're certainly drawing from the inspiration that exists in the area.
This is a non-contributing property. I checked that.
Yeah.
Also, too, when you look at this property from the road, as I saw it, you look at the property, facing it. On the right, there's really no visibility. On the left, somewhat so, but if more vegetation was placed there, that would be almost entirely obstructed. Plus, this house is on top of a hill.
That's right.
I think that one of the things to keep in mind is that you're working with a property in a historic district that's not historical. And at the time, right now, it really doesn't provide a whole lot of reference for any of the properties around it. And so what you're doing, I love the fact that it's an improvement. I love the fact that, it's very, very nice designs. You can see how, you've taken this from, probably what appear in the photographs of kind of early 90s architecture, to something that's a little bit more of a throwback. But in my opinion, it is a little bit of a throwback in the sense that there are certain elements here you won't necessarily see in some of the truly historic properties. But I will say this. If you use this rendering for a guideline, because ultimately we need to look at something and say this is what we're basing our recommendation on. If we're basing it off of the rendering, the aspects that I'll tell you that I do like, I love the two small windows, and I'm assuming that they're probably there now.
No.
They're not.
They're not.
Okay.
No, right now what's there is a 12-foot tall arch-top window that's about 3 feet or 4 feet wide.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Here, you can see it here.
oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. I love the small windows.
Good.
And I
So do
feel
we.
like, okay, that's now we're actually looking at an aspect that's, kind of more in keeping for a style that,
Sure.
kind of
Yeah.
speaks to the nature of it. I mean, I'm trying to see it. It's a little tough to see, but so the bracing that you have under the soffits, is that? I can't see how is it straight lined? Is it curved?
I can bring up. I have copies that I can give you and keep one here if you'd like to see it closer. But
That would be helpful.
The brackets are actually curved.
Okay.
So they're not. The brackets underneath the bay to the far left are not structural. They're decorative, but they're curved. They'll be built up of composite material. The brackets at the hood at the front entrance will be structural, and they will be similar but at a larger scale.
And this side door as well?
Exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
This house is brick. I remember
is.
seeing it. Are you going to keep it that way? Because I
We are
really
going-
can't tell from this rendering.
Yeah. So our intent is to keep the brick, but paint the brick. Paint the brick. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, too, I don't think that portal window above the door,
Yes.
I don't think that's a part of the house now, is it?
It's not. What's part of the house now is a stucco stucco panel with a strange archtop window above it.
Okay.
And that is in the documents that I shared. It's the north elevation photo.
Well, in my opinion, I don't think that portal window matches anything in the direct vicinity that at least I remember seeing when I saw this house from the street.
No, I can't recall anything that it matches within, the few houses that surround it. But I would,
Such a nautical theme for
yeah, I mean, we're
inland house.
Yeah, we're introducing some of the aspects of like a shingle-style house to this because of the amount of siding that we have on the house. Again, I couldn't specifically tell you of a house around the immediate area that has that, but we certainly use it quite often. It also is a location that we felt we could do something whimsical because it's the Reggers, my client's daughter's bathroom. So from the interior, it actually, was something that was nice for her to have.
I sort of agree. The only thing kind of throwing me off is that nautical style window. I don't know if that piece of it fits the neighborhood. But I do have a question, which is I'm trying to understand what pieces of the house are being taken away and what are being built out to make the new facade.
Okay, so the large gable that's over the front entrance at the upper roof, we're building that out to eliminate the smaller gable that you see in the photo on the north elevation. Okay, we felt that was one too many moves there, and we wanted to create some depth and shadow at that center main gable, so we're packing that out. And the other element that we're adding on this north elevation is the hood that is extended out over the front door. So other than that, we're changing material, we're infilling a few windows where that large archtop window was that we talked about, and changing the nautical window.
Ask him. Ask him.
Yeah. May I come up and,
I think you're not allowed to do that, but if
Okay.
you put up the photograph of the existing north elevation, please. And compare it to what your rendering is, so maybe you can fit them both. I am bewildered about what's going to happen to the two Keystone Arch bays. Are you building them out? Are you demolishing them?
no, one of them would stay. Can everybody see that?
Because it seems to me that it's more than just a pylon, it's actually a wall
So,
from the photograph.
okay, so this arch hood is going to mimic this arch here, but
Okay.
extend out to give a little bit more cover.
So you're taking out the piling?
Nope, columns are staying.
You're building them up?
Uh,
You're filling them in?
We're painting them.
Okay.
We're only painting them. Structurally, we can't remove them
Oh, right, okay, great.
because they're carrying this,
Right.
which we are changing the material on, but we're leaving. This roof here, we are building outward
Yeah,
so
I
that
got
it's,
that.
okay. So
Now,
we're-
on this north elevation on the photograph, the left-hand arched bay.
we
What's
are,
happening to that?
that arch is going to stay, but we're hiding it with a drop beam.
Okay, all right.
We're trying to downplay the simple brick arches here. Frankly, they're sort of, in my opinion and my client's opinion, they're a little tacky. So we're trying to hide them.
Thank you.
Sure.
I get it now.
Good. Glad I could help.
So at this time, let me invite the public if there's anyone that wants to make any comments about this project.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion for recommendation for certificate of appropriateness with a recommendation, and that being that the oval window over the opening, that you consider possibly trying out a couple other looks.
And we have it. We will continue to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Vote of 5. Just to comment on that oval window, I think everything looks beautiful.
Great, thank you.
I think it's potentially just the extra white trim that might be making it look more nautical than not.
Sure,
which
sure.
may be what has thrown us off slightly.
Okay.
Just to comment though.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
congratulations. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much. Is there any reason that you guys would want these extra copies for your files or anything? We have a lot of copies of it.
All right, at this time, we're going to look at HARB 2017-02, which is 304 North Wayne Avenue. You want to tell us a little bit about this project?
Yeah, this is fine. Hello? Oops. Mark Stanish from Mark Stanish Architects. My client, Paul O'Connor, who owns the building, is here. This is an apartment building at 304 North Wayne Avenue. It's quite an old building, but over the years, it has been altered in all kinds of crazy ways. The roof lines, the dormers, things have been removed and put back on to the point where there's really nothing much left of architectural significance. Paul's company bought the building this year in, I believe, August, and are renovating the apartments. He wanted to add an architectural elements, a porch that wrapped around on the front, similar to what may have been there in the past. In our presentation to you, and I have it here, we can put it, we documented the surrounding area, all the, I know you asked that question with the last applicant, the different houses there, and many of them, as you know, in North Wayne have porches on it. The porches would also provide some outdoor living for a few of the apartments. So on the first floor, the porch will just wrap around, have a roof, asphalt roof that matches the house, the current roof, and we'll have access from 2 of the apartments, and we'll provide the main entrance to the apartment. On the second floor, we wanted to accent the front entry. There's a lot of, how many apartments are there, Paul? There's 12 apartments in the building, so we wanted to have a little nicer, front entry. It's right on North Wayne Avenue. So on the second floor, we took the 2-story porch in the center. That also has a roof over it, has access from one apartment, and then there's a small side porch that another apartment would have access from. We tried to obviously look at the building and use the same materials that are there, and looked at some of the older homes and the older photographs of this building. So we have some masonry piers going up to hold the columns to support the roof to give a little more weight to the porch. This building, if you've looked at the site plan, with the setbacks, everything's non-conforming about it, how it fits on the site. So when Paul talked to the powers that be in Radnor, they said, well, you can probably come out as far as the existing porch on the front and the side, but no further. So we were rather limited to what we could do, but it really didn't hurt anything. So we let that front entry come out as far as it did. We pushed the rest of the porch back a little bit more. The materials that we're using it's hard to tell from the photos or from the drawings, but underneath of the porch, it's currently white painted brick, and the rest of the entire building is stucco. So because the brick is painted and it's been changed over the years, the brick will stay painted and probably be repainted, and we're building brick piers on the to support the railings, to support the posts, and they'll also be painted. And that's about all I have to say.
Are you aware of this was a former hotel?
Yes.
Oh, you do? So you got
Yes.
pictures when it was the Wesley?
Yes. It was
right?
called Wesley or
Wesley.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
and we looked at those pictures and we were going to even present them, but the reality is that there's the original one had a porch and it had a 2-story porch and then it connected with the house next door. And then there's another picture where on the 2 sides of the front, the center is low, and on the 2 sides there are 3-story porches zooming up. So there's just nothing like really, other than the concept of the porch was there probably from the beginning at some point. Again, he's really trying to upgrade the building, the apartments in general, and to really give a nicer facade to the house.
I agree. When I saw it, it was pretty worn, the cracked stucco, and that little side porch was just kind of like an afterthought, and it's there. And in my opinion, with your presentation, I think that this is going to be a very nice visual improvement from the street.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Go ahead. Okay. So I love the plans. I love the designs. And I think that you've done a great job
Thank
being
you.
able to improve this property.
Right.
The one aspect that is throwing me a little bit is that it appears that there is going to be a balcony on the second floor that you can see off to the left side.
Yes.
Could you explain a little bit more? Is that simply providing some outdoor space, or is it,
Right.
or is
One of
there
the-
actually a fire escape and
No.
Okay.
No, it's totally, with trying to upgrade the building and make the apartments more desirable, better rents, better renters. Paul felt that he wanted to provide some exterior spaces, and originally we were going to do a full, almost like at the shore, a porch with railings all around the whole second floor. And we looked at that briefly, and we all thought it was just too much. It looked a little bit like the shore. So we cut back, but we were trying to get at least, there's 2 apartments in the front, so we were at least trying to get the 2 apartments in the front access to some exterior space. And by tucking it off to the side and working it into the roof and using the same railings and same, newel posts and all, I don't really think it makes a negative impact at all. And it might even be a positive impact because it kind of breaks up the side facade. There is if you look at the site plan, there's a narrow driveway that goes down the side there.
Quick question, and it looks well designed, but so currently the building is stucco,
Yes.
and it looks like there's brick now going to be on the front. Maybe I missed this. when you
The
explained.
building is, the whole front porch area, all in here, is currently white painted brick. And it's, even in the pictures, even when we went back to the office and we're looking at the pictures, we were like, oh, is it stucco? And when you zoomed in, you could see that if you look real closely, that it's brick. So it's only it's not under the porch now. It's only that first floor partially back. It's not even around the whole building. The other sides of the building are all stucco.
Stuck over wood frame?
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Because the stucco, when we look closely, the stucco is out a little bit further than the brick. So I'm assuming it might even be stucco over wood siding or something, as they did, many years ago. It's a pretty big building, and the stucco's really, in the front it's in bad shape, you could see, but on the sides and all, it doesn't really seem to have much, really any issues. So it wasn't the intention to change all of that. This is really just dealing with the front facade.
I have a question. Does anybody who comes up the front stairs towards the front door, are they going to have access to the whole porch, or are you going to make it only so that they can, for safety purposes, so that they can only go into the door? It's hard to tell from your drawings.
Right. The current concept is that when you'd walk up the front entryway, here to go in the front door, this small portion of the porch would be available for sort of waiting or package delivery if you're waiting to be picked up. This part of the porch is for this apartment, and this part of the porch is for this apartment over here. We talked about more public access, but the owner, Paul, felt that because The apartment was right there, making it too much of a public space that people could hang out on or have a picnic on. Really wasn't appropriate right next to someone's apartment.
So then, are you kind of cordoning it off with?
We're
some-
simply going to, the same railing that's running down here will run down here and run down here. You can see there's even a gate indicated there. So it's not going to be any two-story, it's just the same low railing that's everywhere else.
At this time, I'll open it up to the public. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment about this?
Besides the owner of the Architects Association.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to issue a certificate of appropriateness. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? All are in favor. So we
Thank you.
recommend a certificate of appropriateness for this project.
Thank you very
It looks
much.
like it's going to be very beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it's going
thank
to
you.
really be nice. Thanks.
Is there any old business that we need to attend to? At this point, then, I adjourn the meeting.